guys, so let's go back here and do a pod review on something I've done pod reviews on in the past. See, this is probably what's eating holes in my peppers. One of those kind of insects. But anyway, we're going to do a pod review on the pepper right over here. And this is called the Kathumby Black. Let's go on the other side if I can get there. It's all the way in the back here. Really hard to get to. And you can see this plant is absolutely loaded with peppers this year. There's got to be 200 at least on here right now. And you can see they get very black in the sunlight. But if the sun's not so direct and the sun starts tapering back, these will get a purplish type of an effect to them. So don't panic. It is the true version of the Kathumby Black. They do that. I've had people ask me, how come my peppers ain't turning black? They're going from green to red. Well, the reason why that's happening is it's not getting any light. This plant needs direct sunlight in order to turn black. If it doesn't get direct sunlight or direct light onto the pepper itself, they're not going to turn black. As simple as that. They'll be purplish or they'll be green partly, and then they'll turn black. But there's a couple here that are turning red. As you can see right here, this is when you know they're fully ripe. When they start getting that red color to them, and one side's black. If you put this thing in full direct sunlight, this thing will turn pitch black like this. Okay, they'll get pitch black. There's another one. Pitch black, guys. That's what they do. They turn pitch black in sunlight. All right, that's that particular variety of pepper does that. Now, some of the lower peppers have got a lot of black on them still, but in general, they are turning red as well. So eventually they will turn red. Maybe not completely red, but they will get some kind of reddening on them. This plant is so productive. I mean, there are so many peppers coming off this plant. If you could just see how many peppers are on this thing. This is absolutely insane. And next year, if I bring this out again, I'll probably double this amount. Because this, if I can winter this plant over and keep it alive, next year's growth will be triple what you see there, at least. Or maybe even quadruple. You know, if I plant that thing out in the middle of my yard somewhere, full sun, if the insects don't destroy it, yeah, I'll probably get 400 or 500 pods off of one plant. But this is just a basic one. Just to give you an idea on what they look like when they ripen. And that's what they look like that. Now, the shapes can vary quite a bit. They can go from this little flat shape like this to being almost looking like this in shape. They almost can get like that. They can get a number of different shapes on them, but they're all the same thing. Here's another type of pheno. They come off it. Trying to separate that and get that exact pheno, don't waste your time, because it's not going to do that. It's just not the type of pepper it is. It really goes by how fast the pepper grows, and you know how well pollinated that flower was is how it's really going to form its shape. All right, so let's turn you around. Let me get you inside here first. Let's turn you around and give that sucker a go. Alright guys, here we are. We're doing another pod review today, and we're going to revisit this pepper here, and this is called the Kathumby Black. This is like maybe third in line as far as my most popular pepper that I sell on my website and on eBay and on Etsy. And when I was on Amazon, I was selling these as there as well. So this is a very, very popular pepper. Everybody's coming to me to get these seeds, and won't be much longer until the other seed companies get a hold of this and they start growing it out themselves and offer this in the future. This pepper was originally acquired by MOJO Peppers from a friend of his in the UK. And the friend of his in the UK discovered this pepper by accident, something along the lines of that. And so MOJO Peppers got a hold of this sample of the peppers, and he grew them out, and this is what he ended up with. And then he made those seeds available to the public, and I was one of the people who bought them. Now, can you buy them from MOJO Peppers now? No, because I believe he closed his website down, which is an unfortunate thing. And I used to always look forward to him putting out his new F1s and 2s, because I like to buy F1s and F2s and then see what variations come out of that. And then I can basically isolate those variations and then turn that into a strain. It saves me the work of actually having to do the cross cross-pollinating myself, because I'm not that good at cross-pollinating, though I do get some hits and misses here and there. I've probably cross-pollinated probably around 250 cross-pollinated samples, and very few of those actually took. When I say took, I mean very few of them actually became a pepper. A lot of times those flowers just either died and fell off, or it would flower and the fruit didn't produce seed, or it produced what I call terminator seed, which is just the seed was not viable and nothing came out of it. Very rarely do I get seed that is actually going to sprout from a cross I made. So it's a lot of work to do it. And when somebody sells me an F2 like this, or an F3, or an F4, or an F5, I take advantage of it. And I'm not sure what this was when he sold it to me. It was definitely not an F2. It's probably like an F4 or an F5 or an F6 when I bought it. And I've been growing this pepper now for about 3 or 4 years or something, on and off throughout the years now. A lot of people come to my website to buy this particular pepper, so that's it. So I did a review on it in the past. We're going to revisit it. We're going to do another pod review today, and we're going to update our status on this to see if it still holds true to the last time I did a pod review. All right, so without any further ado, let's go in it. Ooh, I ate the whole thing. Almost like gasoline. It has a flavor like a gas came out of it, almost like a vapor of gas of some sort. Not that many seeds in it. The flavor was kind of mild, actually. Has like a funny kind of a taste. It has similar to almost like a scorpion type of flavor, mixed with like cayenne or something similar to that. Kind of has like a contrast in flavor. Kind of interesting. So far the heat is building, but it's generally pretty low heat pepper. I mean, you're not going to get cooked off of this thing. I can tell you that right now. It does have heat, but it's not cooking hot per se. But then again, this is a creeper, so let the heat build up and see what it does, and then we'll describe that. But as far as the flavor goes, it's got a very nice flavor. The contrast is kind of strange. It's like I said, it's between like sort of like a scorpion type of flavor crossed over with like a cayenne of some type. That's what I think it tastes like. It's really hard to describe. This pepper has a lot of flavor dynamics to it. Very hard to grab all of them different waves of flavor. There's a lot going on in this pepper. It's not just simple cayenne flavor. This is different. There's different levels of flavor that affect your tongue in different stages as you eat it. It's almost impossible to grab all of that in one taste test. So, but it's a very nice tasting pepper. Now, when I first bit it, like this gas like comes out of it. It was almost like kerosene or something, but didn't taste like kerosene. Almost like it had like a slight gasoline-y kerosene fuel flavor in the beginning as a gas, and that vaped off, and then the flavor of the pepper was right there. But when you first bite it, that's what I got out of it, like that kind of an effect. I don't know if that means anything. I just try to give it to you as it comes to me. So, okay, now as far as the heat goes, unfortunately with this particular variety of pepper, it's not really killer hot. Though I will say this, depending on what you do with it, this pepper can really pick up heat. Because I do remember eating this pepper one year, and it was a lot hotter than it is now. So maybe I didn't stress the plant enough. It just grew too easy in the garden. If you stress this plant a little bit, you can probably get the numbers up. Right now, I'm going to say this heat is probably somewhere between 6,000 and 7,000 Scovilles, somewhere around there. I bet you could get this heat up there, and I have eaten peppers from this that were in the past that were hotter. I bet you could get these numbers up to around 20,000. That's like a best case scenario. If you really stress it out and really do this, you can probably get those numbers up there, but not likely. And this plant is generally a lower heat pepper, like I told you, between 6 and 7. It's a warm, glowing burn with a little bit of a stinging effect to it. It's mostly affecting over here, like this whole region of my mouth. It's not like one particular. The whole area is lit up and glowing. A little bit of light sting with it, a little bit of a tingle. Nothing big, nothing spectacular or anything. It's warming up the lips. It's kind of warming under the tongue a little bit, mostly on the edge of the tongue. Nothing really in the back of the throat. I mean, I'm really looking for it, to be honest with you. There's not a whole lot of excitement here with the heat. And that's really it. It's really a lower heat type of glowing burn with a slight little tingle, and that's about all you're going to get from it. It's mostly affecting the tip of the tongue. The thing that stands out the most with this pepper, I would say, would be the flavor. That interesting contrast in flavor between that kind of slight scorpion flavor, kind of transitioning over into like a type of cayenne type of flavor, that little strange nuance. That was definitely unique to this pepper. That's not something I come across very often, but I can pick that flavor reaction up a little bit. Has that kind of effect. And like I say, the heat's generally pretty low. There was really no soap on this pepper, but then again, when I tell you soap, usually that's with higher heat peppers. When I taste that soap, that's usually fresh capsaicin oil, and that is the flavor that is really going to light you up. So when I taste that and I mention that, that's usually an indication that we're going to see some heat experience here, heat action. But really, that's all I can say about the Kathumby Black. I don't know too much more about it. Like I say, I got it from MOJO Peppers, but we do offer the seeds on our website, and you're more than welcome to pick them up there. And I also offer them on eBay as well. But that's about it. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one. Take care.